The fastest way to learn anything is to have a teacher, and who better to mentor you in the ways of magic than the spirits themselves? Hello everyone, and welcome back down here to the Gamer's Den with me, your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire, talking more about magic in the 6th world of Shadowrun, 5th edition Shadowrun to be specific, and now we are talking about totems and mentor spirits, one particular path that you might have towards developing your magical abilities. Totems and mentor spirits are particular entities that hermetic mages, shamans, and adepts can follow as a means of understanding and developing their magical powers. Following these spirits will influence the mind and behavior of these practitioners, though how will depend from spirit to spirit. Doing so will confer a boon to the mana user and a bane as well, meaning that you will get an advantage, but there's an associated disadvantage as well. That kind of goes with the overall thematic archetype. But before we start getting into any examples, if you're new here to the channel, then go on down there, hit that subscribe button, and become a regular member here at the Gamer's Den. Or, if you've already become part of such a legendary roster, then go on down to hit that like button and share the video far and wide to help the channel grow ever further. But now, let's actually talk about a couple of mentor spirits. Now, bear in mind that there are many out there, and what's listed in the core rulebook or any supplement books is just a bare representation of it all. It's just a taste of anything that's possible out there. And remember that the descriptions within the book specifically state that a spirit from one culture, a particular animal, spirit, or concept, may differ wildly when you go to another culture. It may change up how it affects you, so definitely work with the storyteller, the GM who's running the game, if you have a particular idea in mind, or if they have an idea in mind on what exactly a particular spirit, creature, animal, concept, whatever, what they might represent and how they might impact you. But let's go ahead and look at a few examples, and one of the first ones is the bear totem. The bear is a protector spirit, bringing strength and healing in defense of others. Anybody who takes this totem will get a +2 dice modifier for tests to resist damage, not including spell drain or anything like that. Magicians and Shamans will get +2 dice modifier for health spells, preparations, and health spell rituals, so you will be better at casting these spells focused in and around health, healing, recovery, things like that. Adepts will receive 1 free level of the rapid healing power. The disadvantage you take on, though, by accepting the bear totem as a mentor spirit, you will have to make a simple charisma plus willpower test anytime you or someone under your care is injured. Failure will mean going berserk for 3 turns, -1 per hit, meaning a significant enough hit against you will negate this, but that also means you've taken a pretty heavy hit, and when you go berserk, you are compelled to attack the opponent who injured you or who injured an ally of yours or somebody you're protecting. You will attack them until either you kill them, render them unconscious, or the berserk effect runs out and ends. Nothing specifically says that you have to make repeated charisma willpower tests, but I would think you might have to if that person is continuously attacking you and not dealing excess damage. But another GM may rule otherwise, so just take that particular interpretation for what it is, just an opinion, and go on from there. But overall, this is definitely a very interesting pick, especially if you're wanting to either emphasize your ability to heal, or if you're picking this up just so you have that broader range of things. Now, for Adepts, the berserk power disadvantage is not a huge disadvantage because you are definitely probably built for some degree of combat, whether it's ranged or melee. But Magicians and Shamans, you're not typically built that way, and going berserk presents some interesting challenges. So it's definitely an interesting It's an interesting spirit to take on as a mentor for your magic, but definitely an effective one. Now, the next mentor spirit that we have on selection here to dig into is the Dragon Slayer. The Dragon Slayer is the most heroic and fun-loving spirit who loves a good party more than a good fight, but they'll never turn down a good fight either. And this is like the idea that it evokes that image of the brave adventurer that has a hearty feast and celebration after slaying a particularly monstrous foe, a dragon. Now, dragons are as much a metaphorical concept as they are a literal thing. So in the Sixth World, in the modern day and age of Shadowrun, the dragon might be crime, poverty, pollution, overwhelming corporate greed. All of these things are dragons in and of themselves. But there are also literal dragons to fight out there, so a Dragon Slayer will do those things. And a Dragon Slayer may also be compelled to go on greater and greater quests and the like. But let's go ahead and dig into what advantages it'll provide to you. So for anybody who picks this up, you get a +2 dice modifier for one social skill of your choice. Mages and Shamans, when they pick this up, get +2 dice for combat spells, preparations, and rituals. And Adepts will get 1 free level of Enhanced Accuracy skill and 1 free level of Danger Sense, which again really helps boost their combat abilities. But the disadvantage that you take is that if you ever break a promise, whether by choice or by accident, you take a -1 die pool modifier to all actions until you make good on that promise. So there's a great opportunity for a lot of roleplay here. This is almost like a questing knight's vow. While they're pursuing that quest and pursuing their vow and making good on that oath, they are fully mentally within the game, but breaking that or deviating from that or damaging that vow in some way affects their honor, affects their mindset, although in this case it's as much a magical concept of that bearing down on you as it is a mental one. So all the way around, this does a lot to really enhance roleplay, and you can see just the differences between these two. Not only are there mechanical advantages, but there's a lot of roleplay involved with this as well too, because this is literally something affecting the mana user's personality. And this is something they've chosen to take on, and it's not something easily broken to adopt another mentor spirit. I would say that you can do that. I believe you can do that, but it's difficult to leave this behind, and rejecting a spirit tends to have some form of consequences as well, particularly after you've already adhered yourself to it, its precepts, its teachings, and it's taught you its ways and its magics. For sure, you lose the advantages that they had conferred to you, but yeah, all the way around, some interesting levels of roleplay to be brought into this here. But by no means is this the only way for an adept or a shaman or magician to learn their magical abilities. You can learn them from other mages, other shamans, and other adepts can teach you some concepts. But it's just another route of differentiating and flavoring your characters to make them more distinct and unique, which is something, again, that Shadowrun really does well. When it comes to Pathfinder and the like, a wizard tends to be a wizard, and a wizard. I mean, you know, maybe you get some differentiation between summoners, illusionists, and the like, but, you know, it's still... summoners and illusionists still have access to a lot of the same spells as one another, but magicians within Shadowrun, they can be differentiated in any number of different ways through the hermetic traditions. If they've taken on a totem or a mentor spirit, do they have another more senior magician that's teaching them and instructing them in the ways of the mentor spirit, or it's just teaching them parts of their parts and aspects of the particular tradition they follow. All of these things come together to really bring about unique, interesting, and distinct characters. I can't emphasize that enough. So this is absolutely a fantastic way of diving into this, and there are many, many, many more spirits with more advantages and disadvantages to them. But if we talked about all of them, we would be here for quite a while. So what do you think? Go on down to the comments below and let me know your thoughts. Did you like today's video? Did you dislike it? hit those like or dislike buttons and go down to the comments below so that we can engage in discussion. And if you're new here to the channel and have been enjoying what you've been seeing so far, go on down to hit that subscribe button and become a regular member here at the Gamers Den. And as always, thank you all so very much for your time, and you all have yourselves a good night.